Hello again. Welcome to part 2. This is the second short video in a series I'm doing for the Early Music Shop during our period of lockdown. Today I'm just going to say a few words about tuning, how the lute is tuned, some of the shapes and sizes that the lute comes in. But I have to begin with a correction to the last video, which is I told you something misleading. I told you that the word wood and the word lute both come from an Arabic root, which is oud or al-oud. That is incorrect. Our word lute does indeed come from the Arabic. Our word wood is a false cognate because although it sounds like oud, it in fact comes from Old German. So apologies for that. I've misled all of my listeners out there. And in fact, I've been misleading people for years on this, but I did a bit of research today and realized I'd been wrong for a long time. Now, on to other things. As you can see from the pile of lutes here, they come in different sizes. And unlike, say, the modern fiddle, the lute doesn't have a standard size, but it does have a standard tuning. It's a relative tuning in the sense that the pitch is determined by the string length. So this is a good example of a classic 16th century lute. It has 6 pairs of strings. I say pairs. The top is actually single. All the others are doubles. On the 6-course lute, as we call it, the basses are very often tuned like this in octaves. Later on they were tuned in unison. So the relative tuning is, on the 6-course lute, that everything is based around a major third, which is in the center of the instrument, between the 3rd and the 4th courses. On this lute, it's A to F. And then on either side of that major third, you have fourths radiating outward. So from the A up to a D, D up to a G. And from the other end, we have F down to C, C down to G. So those of you who know about the guitar will know that it's very similar, but maddeningly slightly different. So on the guitar, instead of having the major third in the middle, between the 3rd and the 4th courses, you have the major third off-center, between the 2nd and the 3rd courses. So just to illustrate the difference, I'm going to pluck the strings of a lute that happens to be in E, same as the modern guitar. And then I'm going to pluck the strings of a guitar to show you the difference. That's the lute. Here's the guitar. So here's the major third between the 2nd and 3rd courses. So if I play that same piece of lute music I was playing before, Calino, using the lute chord shapes on guitar, I get something rather peculiar. The chords are sort of nearly right, but not quite. What you have to do, of course, is take the 3rd string down a semitone. That's half a step. And then you've got lute tuning, major third in the middle. Now I play the lute chord shapes. And it actually works. This is good news because it means guitarists can easily play lute music simply by detuning the 3rd string by a semitone. So the other thing to talk about is lute tablature. Lute tablature is a system, which I'll talk more about next time, which tells you where to put your fingers. It's a bit like painting by numbers. This is a huge advantage because there is no standard pitch for the lute. As I say, small lute is tuned high, big lute is tuned low. So again, when I played on a small lute with the top string of G, the piece Calano sounds like this at the beginning. When I play the same thing on a lute which is larger and tuned in, say, E, we get so on. This is why tablature comes in so handy, because we don't have to think really about what pitches we're actually playing, we just have to think about where we put our fingers. And that's the same on a small lute or a large lute, because within themselves the intervals are the same. I hope this is making sense. This, as it happens, is the largest lute in my lute family. It's a lute in D, so it's a fourth below the G lute, the one I showed you before. And so our same piece will end up sounding like this. Finally, I'm going to show you one last lute, which is the early music shop's own lute in G. This is also by way of illustrating an additional development to the lute, which is the addition of an extra bass string at the bottom. So if we ignore the bottom string, we still have the usual classic 6 strings. But this is an example of what was going on at the end of the 16th century, the beginning of the 17th, when they started adding extra bass strings. So there's an extra one, which is below the usual 6th. That doesn't stop us, of course, from playing in the usual way, but we have the bonus, we can add extra bass notes. This is the lute that the early music shop has specially made and sells particularly to beginners because it's affordable. We're being photobombed by the cat. Excellent. Come on, say hello to the audience. No, she's off. She's shy. So, what have we covered? We're going to pause now and edit this bit out because the camera operator is shaking. We're rolling again. The cat was causing camera shakes in the camera operator, so we had to pause the film. Now we're back again, and I'm just going to sum up what I've been talking about. The long and the short of it is that the Renaissance lute, in the 16th century, the classic form of it is 6 pairs of strings, always tuned with the third in the middle, and fourths going outward from that central third. Later on, extra bass strings started to be added, like this low D on this G lute. For convenience, we generally talk about lutes being tuned in G, and they often are, especially in modern times. Old surviving lutes come in all sorts of sizes, and the beauty of tablature, which I'll talk about more next time, is that it tells you where to put your fingers so you don't have to think much about what pitch you're playing. If you want to accompany a singer in a lute song, and the singer has a high voice, you take a small lute and play the tablature on the small lute. If it's a low-voiced singer, you take a larger instrument, and that transposes the music for you automatically, as it were. So, that's the end of today's episode about lute tunings. I hope I haven't left you thoroughly confused. The point of it is that if you're a guitarist, you can play lute music simply by changing the tuning of one of your strings. And it's a very easy approach to lute music, to begin by playing it on the guitar, and then switching to one of these early music shop beginner's lutes. So that's the end of today's episode, and we'll come back to you tomorrow. We've got camera shakes again because of the photobombing cat. We'll come back to you tomorrow with more on tablature.